Hi y'all, welcome back for day 2 where we're going to talk about Alumni Networks. Now, as some of you watched from my first video yesterday, I had specifically spoken about reaching out to people who attended graduate programs that you're interested in. Today, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what that actually looks like, how I went about doing that, and why it's important to do that, and how it makes you a better candidate for some of these programs. So again, without further ado, let's get into it. So first, let's talk about why it's important to reach out to alumni of programs you're interested in applying to. These alumni have been through the struggle, right? They applied to the program, they got into the program, they attended and went through the entirety of the program, and they came out the other side. And I think their journey is super helpful insight for you pursuing a potential program because, one, you might find out information and decide you don't want to apply there or you really want to apply there. Two, as I had mentioned in my video from yesterday, they have a lot of niche information about their program that you wouldn't be able to find online. And then three, you would also be able to look at like, oh, where are they at now in their career, in their life, etc. And is that something you're interested in or could potentially see yourself in through this graduate program? Now, I am going to give a little bit more of tailored advice to my urban planning interested folks because it is more niche, so you have to be a little more strategic about who you're talking to. But again, this information can be extrapolated out to folks interested in public health, an MBA, public policy, you name it. As part of my research, I really did a deep dive on the different types of urban planning programs I was interested in, and then more specifically, okay, after sorting through which ones I was interested in, who should I reach out to? Because while I could do my high-level research and think about, oh, okay, yeah, I do like this program, it looks nice on paper, is this actually what I want it to be? I just tell you, it never is what you want it to be. Anyway, I ended up actually reaching out to a lot of alums on LinkedIn to talk to them about their experience, how they applied to their schools, how they decided between X school versus Y school, and what honestly they regretted not doing within their program because I wanted to make sure I took full advantage of that program. So I want to show you a cold email, LinkedIn message, whatever you want to call it, to someone who went through the Harvard University Masters in Urban Planning program that I ended up connecting with on a call, and the subsequent steps after that she was very informative and helpful with as it related to my application. I wanted to show y'all an example of a cold email I sent during my application cycle. I applied in 2020, FYI, and I was reaching out to people, as you can see, at the beginning of September, which is what you should be doing right now. So with that being said, here was my cold message I sent on LinkedIn. Hi X, I hope you're doing well. I saw that you obtained an MUP from Harvard and was wondering if you would be able and willing to speak with me about your experience and how it has enabled your current trajectory. I'm intending to apply for an MUP in MArch, which is their architecture program. I don't know why I said that out crazy back then. Let me know, exclamation point, cheers, Jada. She followed up and said, sure, feel free to pick whichever time works for you in my Calendly, sent her Calendly. So that was it. And what was great about that connection is that she actually ended up putting me in touch with another person who went to the program but a couple years later and had just graduated. We were all in a LinkedIn group chat and she gave me more insight into her urban planning careers and pursuits, and also connected me with UC Berkeley people because I was really interested in their program. All this to say, you can have those really in-depth conversations about different programs that people went through. Just make sure you're not wasting people's time because that's one thing we don't get back. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the different programs you're interested in because they might ultimately sway you into wanting to apply versus not wanting to apply. And the other thing I wanted to know as it relates to this person originally I sent the message to, we ended up working together consecutively for the timeline of my application period that I outlined in my first video, and she reviewed my essay, she reviewed the portfolio I put together, she even recommended different additive features to make me stand out and actually showed me what she submitted. So find those alumni networks and make sure you're embedded in them in some way so that you can reach out to these people and talk to them about what you're interested in. And this actually doesn't necessarily need to be through cold messaging people on LinkedIn specifically. If you're in the area of a school you're interested in, you can attend their events, right? Because many Harvard University programmed events are open to the public. So if you go there, you can meet some really prominent folks who work at these universities and talk to them about what you're interested in and the program you're interested in, and honestly might lead to a letter of rec. The other thing I want to know is if you're not in person, there are virtual events still being hosted by different institutes at the university you're thinking of. So for example, Harvard University has the Salata Institute, and they're focused on like climate and environment, and they host a lot of virtual events every month to basically inform everyone about climate change, which is kind of crazy to talk about. But they have that open as a public forum for people to use, and you can come, ask questions, get in touch with people, reach out to people afterward. It's a really informative event and also a great connector as well. One more alumni network you can tap into is fellowship programs that bring in outside parties to the university for one-year rotations. For example, Harvard University has a GSD specific, this is for my urban planners out there, GSD specific fellowship called the Loeb Fellowship, and essentially they bring in outside entities that are already doing urban planning architecture work to study for a year at the university. Harvard Kennedy School has a version of it called the Nieman Scholars, Nieman Fellows, and they're basically journalism folks throughout the world who come and study at the Kennedy School, but they're allowed to take courses throughout every single Harvard campus school, like law school, business school, GSD, policy school, etc. They're great networks to tap, and they honestly might be a good letter of rec as well. All this is to say that you can reach out to people, and there are so many resources through people that you can utilize while you're thinking about and narrowing down that list of grad programs you're applying to, thinking about the essays you want to submit, tailoring your resume, and thinking through more critically, what can I get out of this program? If you have any questions about anything I spoke about related to reaching out to folks about grad programs you're interested in, how I navigated it, and the outcomes of that, feel free to comment below. If not, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.